And that's why I asked him to take his hand off the shifter.
You're talking about that again?
Trent, what's with the sword?
Well, I saw it at the flea market, and I thought it would have been perfect for the studio.
For abrasive guests?
No, just to go on the wall.
As a threat?
As a decoration.
It feels a little threatening.
Feels a little medieval.
It's just a decoration.
Is that blood? Trent, whose blood is that?
Oh, well, the guy at the flea market told me if I could beat him at a duel, he'll sell it to me for half price.
And?
Long story short, I paid full price, and that's my blood.
The All About Nothing podcast may have content and language that isn't appropriate for some. Listener discretion is advised. Recorded live from G.O.T Sound Studio in Lexington, South Carolina. This is the All About Nothing podcast with Barrett, Zach King, and Trent Clark.
Welcome to the All About Nothing podcast. I'm Barrett Gruber, joined by the only two that I can imagine doing the show with, purely based on availability, Zach King, Trent Clark. Welcome, guys.
It's funny.
We are here.
It's funny because it's true.
It's actually kind of funny and ironic because two of us were here.
Correct.
And one of us wasn't for a very specific reason.
Y'all put it in the comments if y'all believe
3
that.
hours late. Everyone in the comments would be like, straight up, Trent probably fucking fell asleep.
I'm just gonna give.
I was on a little bit of CP time today.
I'm gonna.
I can't lie.
I'm gonna give you the. I'm gonna give it to you on this because you and Neek and JB and everybody has been working unbelievably hard at the new studio.
Yeah, man.
And we're still in the old studio, as you can tell if you're watching us on YouTube.
Correct.
But we're probably only a couple weeks away.
Yeah, man.
Right.
It's a countdown.
I noticed that none of the soundproofing is on the wall in this room anymore.
Nope.
It's all gone.
It's gonna bounce.
We'll have to chase bums out next time.
Yeah, that's right.
We have one more episode. You can't squat.
While you playing, it was a bum at that back door the other day doing karate.
At the new studio?
At this studio.
Oh, this studio.
Did you have to challenge him to leave?
No, I hit him with the Nick had like the little ring camera on it. So I was like, please get away from the door. Please get away from the door. Like,
he's like, I'm not fighting no fucking robots. He just takes off.
That's great. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We appreciate every one of you. Please subscribe to the show. Subscriptions drive our searches. That's how we get new listeners. Please also consider becoming us financial supporter of the show. Visit patreon.com/theallaboutnothing. Also, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts and you think we're worth it, go ahead and give us one of those 5-star reviews. If you're not on Apple Podcasts, you can always give us one of those thumbs up or just share it with all your friends because ultimately we're desperate.
Yep, and click the little ding ding bell on the side of YouTube.
Yeah.
Get the notifications that we're coming up.
Yeah.
New video.
Mine posts every single week. It sends me a notification. It says, "Hey, somebody posted a YouTube video on Your All About Nothing," and I'm like,
was you.
"Oh wait, it was me." Yeah.
It's working.
It does in fact work.
Yes.
So you cannot lie to it.
Apologies for the quality of last week's episode. In the second half, we had some technical difficulties with the recording, and technically that was me.
And that's the reason why I'm on the board.
Trent's
today.
running the board. I did not hit record. We adjusted our procedures, and technically it makes me less responsible for that. So if anybody's to blame, honestly, you could probably still blame it on me or Zach or Trent because ultimately we can all see the red button. I went back and looked at the video too. I sat down in my chair. Trent and I were talking. I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they just start talking. Didn't
He
hit
actually
the record
turned
button or
on.
anything.
He turned on this clock.
Exactly.
He was like, "All right, let's get it."
Exactly.
That's how that works, right? Yeah. Well, you guys have. You have your computer and iPad, and he has this. I just brought the talent again.
Oh, is that's all? Yeah, that's all you brought.
He's LeBron bringing the talent to South Beach.
Wherever I go.
I do have a couple shout outs. Huge shout out to Mac and Natalie Baker and Mr. Reuter's Plumbing here in the Midlands. As you all know, we are moving studios. We're going to be moving into Lexington.
Correct.
And the new location with what happens sometimes when you move to new places, you find out there are new problems. And sometimes challenges that don't make themselves known immediately, you find out after the fact. One of those issues was a plumbing issue that popped up at the studio. And thankfully, I was able to call Mr. Reuter, Mac, and Natalie, who run the Mr. Reuter here in Columbia. And they had a guy out within days.
Yeah.
Diagnosed what the issue was. And
Didn't charge us.
Didn't charge them, which
Very nice guy.
Ultimately,
That's awesome.
Shout out to Jason. I think that's his name.
Jason from Mr. Reuter. So Mac, Jason, and Natalie is Mac's wife, but really, really appreciate the fact that they were able to get.
Hope I don't get them in trouble.
Local businesses helping local businesses.
Exactly. Also, we talked about the movie Devotion with Jonathan Majors.
I haven't watched it yet.
The movie does not have Glenn Powers in it.
It has the dude from Top Gun in it.
Yeah, well, it has Glenn Powell in it.
That's the dude from Top Gun, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mistakenly called him Glenn Powers throughout the entire course of my talking about that particular movie. Yeah, last
week. And his more famous
over and over.
Austin Powers.
The movie Devotion, starring Jonathan Majors and Glenn Powers, does not exist. If you
it does now.
It exists in your imagination and the IMDb Wikipedia that I just made.
We put that out there into the universe. You're more likely to find Devotion with Jonathan Majors and Glenn Powell.
Hey, we can write it. We'll call it Planes Go.
Yeah. It was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. In fact, Bill Kemmler reached out to me and said that he was going to watch it, despite the fact that I think he thought that it might be similar to other movies we've seen before. But it really is legitimately.
Do you
good.
mind if I quickly interject a movie I just saw?
Please.
The Northman. Have y'all seen that?
No,
I haven't seen The Northman.
It has Bill Skarsgård in it. And it's a Viking movie. And
Okay.
It had Ethan Hawke, Nicole Kidman, a bunch of good famous.
I did see the trailer for that.
I'm hurting right now. I don't want to talk
Check
about
that
Vikings
out.
right now.
Not those Vikings. This Viking actually kills people.
Another shout out because I am a huge fan. I'm gonna go ahead and say Dave Grohl celebrated his birthday this past week.
Oh yeah,
Dave Grohl, of course, from Nirvana originally and Foo Fighters now.
As we used to say when Foo Fighters came out, is that the drummer from Nirvana?
Yeah, exactly. This is and
He gets around.
I had never thought about this, but I'm going to play this for you guys. And it's Dave Grohl being modest. So I'm just going to play this and let you guys hear.
Saying I'm a good drummer because I'm the most basic fucking drummer. If you listen to Nevermind, the Nirvana record, I pulled so much stuff from the Gap Band and Cameo and Tony Thompson on every one of those songs. All that.
Yeah.
That's old disco. That's all it is.
He's straight up like,
Can I not hear that? Nobody makes the connection. That's straight up Gap Band.
because that's funk, dude.
I
Like,
did
how would
Tony
you make
Thompson. I
it?
came to my house for a barbecue with somebody, and I was like, man, I just want to thank you because, you know, I owe so much. I've been ripping you off my whole life. He goes, I know. Whoa. Disco flail.
Oh,
I love that.
If one thing musicians know, they know when they're getting ripped off.
Oh, for sure.
Dude, yeah, you hear a radio song come on that sounds like your song, you're like, call my fucking
Call my lawyers.
Yeah.
Cease and desist
take that shit off the radio, or start paying me for it to be on the radio.
immediately.
Also, another big birthday we're celebrating is the life of Tuck King.
Correct.
We actually celebrate his birthday today.
Yep.
And if you haven't listened to the show before, Tuck is Zach's father, passed away a few years ago. While I never had the honor of meeting him, I certainly get to experience some of what you did with your talking about him, and I love it. You know, I think because I think to what any sort of scenario I could potentially think of, there's almost always going to be my dad.
Yeah.
Tuckisms is what we fondly call it.
If my dad left me nothing, it's Tuckisms. Like, that is like Trent's he knew my dad.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad had stories for everything.
Correct.
And he had, I mean, my dad made stories doing stuff that you just watching, like, only Tuck King would have done
Yeah.
this shit.
100%.
Like fighting goats and not necessarily winning.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he died 4 years ago today, which is still crazy. And you kind of wake up with a Rolodex of emotion. As
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it like,
Oh, it's today.
yeah, like, how am I going to process all this and stuff? But he would have been 58, which is still too young, even if he died today. So
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna do a cheers on the during the recording here.
It gets easier, man. I promise.
To Tuck, and I wish I knew him, but I kind of feel like I do. So cheers to Tuck on his birthday here.
thank you, guys. He would appreciate it.
Would you like Maker's Mark?
He's a Crown Royal, man.
Oh, so he likes it a little softer.
Yeah, but
I had Crown Royal at the
No,
house. You
just
should have told me.
so this is where
That makers?
this is where it
I only
gets even
drink
weirder. This is where it gets more weird. My dad would mix Crown and Mellow Yellow.
That sounds like a
is-
good mix.
That doesn't sound bad.
But that was my dad. He would smoke 4 packs of cigarettes and drink Mellow Yellow. Like, he kept Mellow Yellow
Yeah.
on the shelves for everybody, so
Yeah.
you're welcome. But that's not even what killed him.
Goddamn Mellow Yellow, man.
Dude, like, just a quick story. My mom went to Gwinnett Technical College down in Georgia.
Right.
And
I actually went to school next door to Gwinnett Technical College. I went to
really?
it was the Piedmont, or no, that's not right. Well, it was right next to Gwinnett Technical College. It was part of it.
My mom went there to be a rad tech. She actually x-rayed all of the Atlanta Falcons in like 85 or something like that.
That's
It was really cool. She's like, we used 2 plates. Her chests were so big.
Oh, yeah.
But
so your mom was staying at the NFL player's chest, man?
Oh, I guarantee it. My mom was horn dogging all over some NFL players.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Dude, if the cheerleaders came in and they were like, we need x-rays, you would be like, straight face. Like, come on, bro.
I guess. Lay on the couch.
But my dad, they didn't have Mellow Yellow up here, so my dad would go visit her every weekend to go stay with her before they got married, and he would come back with trunkfuls of Mellow Yellow.
Oh my gosh!
And be like, they don't have it here. Like, I have to fucking have it.
They didn't have it here in Columbia?
No, it was only in Atlanta.
That's like you can't get Big Red. Have you ever had Big Red?
Yeah.
It's kind of a combination
In
of like,
Georgia.
Yeah. But like people that come to visit us, it used to be. I can't stand the stuff anymore, but like they would bring us cases of the Big Red, and then they had a Big Red Zero, which was like the diet version. That tasted like it. And I was like, nope, that's all aspartame.
They experiment their flavors on Atlanteans.
Yeah. I'd like to think that they experiment on the Texans.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of flavors get tested. Yeah, that's funny.
Speaking of that, we was thinking about doing a little flavor tasting with you soon, probably at the new studio.
Yeah,
see if you can. You know how they had
Pepsi, Coke, Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi.
Do the
Coke
Pepsi
Zero.
Do one in like
I
4 cups.
I could tell you the difference between Coke and Pepsi.
I think I could too.
I think
I could too. But we'll plan that out and do that.
Slip a little liquor in there. See if y'all. This is new.
My tongue is peeling now. What's that?
As everybody can tell, Zach is back in the studio this week after a very exciting and enjoyable program listening to speaker Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Now this is Zach deGrasse Tyson. They got married actually when he went there.
So tell us,
full of wonder.
How was it? Were there any flat earthers in the audience? Was there?
No, there was, dude. Like, if you've watched any of his lectures, and maybe y'all haven't, maybe you had lives, but I've watched so many of his lectures. He's so funny. He's so animated. He jokes with the audience and stuff. He was talking about the creation of the Air Force, how before it was the Army Corps.
Oh, talking about the aviators for the Air Force?
Yeah, but he called it the wrong name.
I mean, yeah. Oh, okay.
And the guy in the audience was like, Army Corps Aviation or whatever it really was.
Oh, the smart guy.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, sorry." Like, then he was talking about if this one shelf melts, or it might have been Antarctica. I don't really remember. But if it does, it's gonna flood and come up Columbia would be beachfront property.
Yeah.
And this one lady's like, "Woo!" And he was like, "Jesus, lady."
It's a lot of dead people in Charleston. I'll tell you that.
And then we all kind of hollered when he said Florida would be gone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, he's
That's
like,
fair.
all right. He's like, I'm not the only one.
So do you think that guy that corrected him was like, went home was like, yo, I corrected Neil deGrasse Tyson last night, right?
If he's anything like me, I just told Barrett the story when I was sitting in front of Hoser and I said, I fucking love you. And he was like, I love you too. It's a story you carry with you.
At any point, did he talk anything about like the speed of light or anything like that?
Yes, of course.
So this is one of the things about the speed of light is everyone always, whenever they talk about the speed of light, they say that we can't accelerate to the speed of light.
99.9%.
Yeah. Does that mean, because light doesn't accelerate to the speed of light, that's the speed of light. Like, unless it's like being impeded by something that it's going through or something like that.
Like a prism slows it down.
Does that mean that, is it possible that humans could just attain the speed of light? Would we? No,
I can't remember off the tip. There's of course physics involved with it, but you can go 99.9. But weird shit's gonna start happening when you get to like 50% of the speed of light.
Oh, okay.
Like it's gonna like the faster you approach the speed of light, time starts getting really heavily involved.
Right. Correct.
And then
gravity increases.
So like theories out there is like if you went faster than the speed of light, you're going backwards almost. Like things like that.
That's too much for my brain.
He didn't break down that, and I do know it, but it's one of those things that you have to get day-to-day information.
Well,
in
it
your
makes sense a little bit because if you ever seen a fan go really fast, if you look at it at a certain
looks like it's
Yeah,
going
it starts going,
that's
like
all frame
helicopter
rate,
blades.
which he did talk about. He talked about in the video I shared. You saw the helicopter with the blades standing still.
Yeah.
That was because the frame rate of the camera was matching the frame rate of the blades, and so all it was seeing was the one. But he's like, if that's the video you see, you're thinking it has some unique propulsion that you've never seen before because the helicopter's staying still.
Yeah.
His big things he talked about that were more of what's happening right now in science. Okay. I mean, to the morning of. Like he mentioned, they found opal on Mars, which means water's there.
Right, correct.
And it's doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you have lake beds that have trenches where rivers will run and
Well,
stuff like
there's
that.
still ice at the
Oh,
caps.
yeah. Oh,
too.
yeah. So, I mean, water's there, but the biggest thing is like on the moon, for instance, is drilling into the surface and finding water in the crater that couldn't have ever escaped. And that's going to be able to put bases on the moon if you can get a reliable source of water out of it.
Right, because then you can split hydrogen and oxygen apart and create
power.
power.
And if you have enough water, you can build a nuclear reactor, which is just steam.
Did you talk about Space Force?
Yes. And he made fun of Donald Trump too. He's like, but Space Force was already there. The Air Force was doing it.
Yeah, the Air Force was already.
But
doing
that's where
it.
the Army Corps. I keep wanting to say Army Corps of Engineers, but the Army's Aviation Corps or whatever split and became the Air Force because we can do this so well, but not this. Let's break it off.
Right.
That's the only reason that he had been proposing that a Space Force of types had be made beforehand.
Yeah.
Just split it out. Let the Air Force do their thing, and if it's extraterrestrial, then go be Space Force.
Yeah.
And the He called out that the Space Force logo is just Star Trek logos.
Yeah, basically.
It definitely is.
It's pretty close.
They stole it.
It was fantastic, and I went. He didn't sell any merchandise. He's like,
were you pissed about that?
That's where he's missing out.
Everybody was like, "What the
Who
fuck?"
doesn't want a giant T-shirt with
your face on
giant
it.
Neil deGrasse
Just going
face
like-
on it? Yeah, just something.
Dude, that'd be like having a Gary Coleman shirt almost. Like,
Yeah, he missed a lot of money with that.
Dude.
Make Gary Coleman rest
But
in
like,
peace.
what I did do is I went and he put up a QR code. He said, if you really want my book, QR code. Went on Amazon. It was on sale for $14,
that's
and it's
smart.
normally like $30.
That's smart. You
So
don't have to drive around with a bunch of.
I already have
back
2
stuff.
Neil deGrasse Tyson books, so I bought 2 more, and they were both on sale. So I think I paid $20 for 2 books.
Good deal. Good deal.
And they put my daughter to sleep like that.
Oh, your daughter was with you.
The first chapter is the theory of everything, and
I was gonna say this is the theory of relativity.
Oh
But
yeah, when you start talking about neutrinos and protons separating and quarks, how they can't be entangled and stuff, or they are entangled.
So back to the speed of light thing. I generally almost always go back to, because I didn't understand what the theory of relativity was until I watched Young Einstein in like 1989 or whenever that movie came out. But the way that it was described in that movie, I think, is the most perfect. Is that
And Young Einstein,
yeah, Young Einstein
with
he had a crazy name.
no, Young Einstein. You're talking about the one with the guy from Grumpy Old Men,
Yeah, no. That was, I can't remember what that one was.
and Meg Ryan.
Yeah, but it was Young Einstein was a comedy, and the Young Einstein character was Australian, not Austrian, or German or whatever. But like the way that he described it, basically he's trying to describe the relativity to someone else, and the guy says, "So if I'm on a train that's going the speed of light, and I move from the caboose to the engine, I am moving faster than the speed of light." He goes, "No, you're not, because your speed is relative to the speed of the train, which means that you're not traveling at the speed of light. You just happen to be on something that's traveling at the speed of light, but you're moving the Earth is spinning at 1,000
your
miles
vessel
an
is
hour.
moving, and technically you are, but you're not. It's like throwing
Yeah.
a tennis ball in an airplane.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's it's
gonna
relative
stay,
to the
yeah.
So it's
well, who knows? E equals MC squared.
energy equals mass. Wait, EMC squared. Energy equals mass times.
Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared.
That's right. Speed of light squared.
Yeah. Physics are fun. I think it's the only thing when they teach you textbook science, you're reading out of a book and memorizing terms and shit.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to just apply it.
Yeah.
And as soon as we started talking about it, I was like, man, I should have just gone out and be a science teacher. Like, let's go do shit. That's why biology is easy, right? Because you get to go out and go do shit.
You get to go pick different lessons that you.
Miss Hoffman, do you remember her in high school? She
No,
took us
I didn't have
outside.
Miss Hoffman. I had Mr.
Miss Hoffman took us outside and we caught crawdads and built like whatever you call it, terrariums
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Science is applied. It's applied.
Yeah. Yeah. Last week, we also congratulated Neek the Geek for his prognostication of the NFL regular season, who won 6 points in our pick, which means he got all but 2.
Well, his final predictions.
Okay, so that's what I was going to move on to. And Neek's not here to defend himself, but the Titans never made it in the postseason, so that was a throw.
Horribly.
Minnesota Vikings were eliminated by the New York Giants on Sunday, 31-24.
I know that hurt though.
Yeah,
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that was and ultimately the Vikings hurt themselves in that game. Like it could have gone.
The Vikings were the comeback team. The one when the shit's on the line, they could do it, and that's a skill that you have to have.
Yeah,
it just got away with
it gets to a point where they just let Kirk Cousins throw the ball to Justin Jefferson at any point in time.
Every single
and it's
throw.
like, we can't just do that. Like, they know he's coming. Like,
yeah, but you can double team Jefferson and he can still catch it.
I mean, I guess, but you just seen Tom Brady lose, and he had a stack. He had a stack line. He had Mike Evans. He had
That's embarrassing.
Well, who else? He had Julio Jones was on that team.
Was Julio playing though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say he sits out a lot.
No, he was
I
playing
know
that
he
game.
played for the Falcons.
I think that they're gonna come to Kirk Cousins like in the huddle, and he's like, "Kirk, what should play should we run?" He's like, "I'm just gonna hand it off to Jefferson."
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can just.
You need a quarterback.
We need to lose Kirk Cousins and gain Lamar Jackson.
You think so?
Do you want that?
But you need Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson for 5 years? Yes.
Well, they're talking about Carolina getting him for 5 years, and I don't know if I necessarily want
You really need Lamar Jackson to last the whole season, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you really do.
I mean, at the Vikings, I think we'll take care of
it's
them.
It's cold in Minnesota, man.
Yeah, but they got a nice ass stadium.
That's not. Yeah,
that stadium is. They don't even feel the cold anymore.
That old one, the snow be coming.
Oh, they were wearing shorts and sleeves.
They actually built this one for the snow to actually melt off of it. You know what I mean?
Cool. That's pretty cool design.
When Brett Favre was at the other one, nope.
No,
Snow coming in that Joker.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Packers will never play home in a dome. They will never build a dome over Lombardi.
You do the cold. Yeah.
So recapping our picks last week,
stupid.
Buffalo Bills did move on with a win over Miami 34-31. And yes, we are aware that the time you're listening to this, nearly a week has passed, so we already know the results of next week's game. But an inappropriate historic collapse of the Chargers wound up. They were up 27-0 in the second quarter and still lost.
Clemson, baby.
With Trevor Lawrence, 4 fucking interceptions. Dude,
you can tell the mentality that we set in our players at Clemson.
I'm telling you right now,
that one
Trevor
defender,
Lawrence is going to be unbelievable next year.
Telling you.
I really think he is.
That one defender had more catches than any for the Chargers. Had more catches than any of dude.
3 interceptions in
4.
one game? No, he had 3 and somebody else had another one.
Oh. I thought he had 4.
He had 3. And then somebody else had another one.
Dude, throw it away from that guy. Throw it to anybody else.
I mean,
after 2, you're like, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, if he would have lost that game, they would have blamed him. So it makes it so much better that he won that game because it's like shuts everybody up. Like, okay, I threw 4 interceptions, but half of y'all would have just gave up after 4 interceptions.
It's
possible.
You know what I'm saying? Like a piece of floss. Well, good to him though.
Well,
Jacksonville needs that.
So Jacksonville moves on. 49ers move on. Bengals move on. We have the Bills, of course, they move on.
Giants move
Josh
on.
Allen, baby.
I have no path in meeting Neek now that the Bucs are out.
I don't know why you picked the Bucs to begin with.
Well, because it's Tom Brady, and you have to
I don't even remember who I picked.
You have to assume that the league is going to give something to Brady.
Yeah, who did I pick to have the? I know I picked the Bills to win it all.
Yeah, you picked the. Oh, I can tell you right. I can tell you right now. You picked in the championship. You picked the Packers and the Bills.
Fuck.
The Packers.
I thought Jordan Rodgers was going to fire it up, and they were 1 win away from doing it.
And who did I pick? Please.
I think you're still kind of in there. You picked the Bengals and the Vikings. So
then he's not in it.
The Bengals could still win
it.
And I picked Bengals to win it all, right?
So
you picked Tampa Bay to win it all, Barrett?
I did.
Okay.
Again, I have to assume that the NFL is going to give Tom Brady a little bit.
I think Trent and I have the best picks.
Tom Brady literally got hit several
Bengals and Bills.
Tom Brady got sacked several times this season that looked just like normal sacks. But when they were playing the Falcons, they got a penalty called on him because they claimed that I want to say it was Jarrett Grady. Grady Jarrett. It's Grady Jarrett. Number 97, Grady Jarrett.
Please, people.
Please, people, help.
But basically, he just sacked Tom Brady. But because Tom Brady wound up on his ass, they threw a penalty flag and was like, "Oh, he was roughing the passer," and it was like, "What?"
If you would have seen those,
but that happened to Tom Brady.
If you would have seen those hits on Monday night, they
Cowboys
were all over him, man.
Well, I got this little statistic talking to a friend of the show, me.
Shout out to me.
How bad were the Bears this year? They won 4 games. Is that what it was?
3 or 4.
Yeah. But they still beat the Falcons.
Yeah, they did. No. The Falcons won that game.
Did they?
Yeah. I was at that. Yeah, that was the game I was at.
You need to go fact check yourself.
Oh yeah, no, the Bears lost that game.
Okay.
Also, in the Dallas Bucks game, it was one of and I don't want to understate this. It was one of the greatest collapse of a place kicker I've ever seen in my
For the
entire
Cowboys.
life. So I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna play some.
You know,
of
I
this.
actually ran. I did tryouts this week.
Tryouts for who?
I went to Dallas.
Did you? Oh, are you trying out for?
Yeah, I tried out for the kicker. You know,
Well,
there was
at
I smell this shit. Trent,
at
as it goes
some
on
point,
right now.
I have to figure that they were probably thinking in their head because basically, just to line this up, he missed 4 extra points.
that hasn't happened since like 1932.
It
It
was-
was what they said.
when they
it was-
started keeping the record.
It was bad.
Literally.
It was bad. So, of course, you know, the cord. Always the cord.
That's why you don't use gas station cords.
Well, I've ordered a new one. So.
Is that a gas station cord?
No. I was going to play the audio and a video for you, but...
Oh, no, we have to. Pause the recording.
No, it's fine. Just keep talking. Just keep talking, and we'll get
How was your weekend, sir?
it straight.
Uneventful, which I was grateful for, except for me and Barrett hopping on Call of Duty and slaying some folks.
Zach slays them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Barrett tags
Barrett's
along.
doing better.
Barrett's
over there
Barrett
playing.
is...
I'm not gonna lie, I take these boys to task, man. I'm popping 30 to 40 kills off every game.
That's crazy.
Barrett is... you know what? Hit the... I'm gonna hook this up during...
It was funny. We were...
Bluetooth.
Ami was telling us to stream it so that she could watch it, and Barrett's like, you know what, Zach? Why don't you stream it?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Because ultimately...
Turn your Bluetooth off.
I did.
I'm not great at it, and I get it. It's not for me to be great at, but
It's so much fun to play, dude.
I do enjoy jumping
Trent,
in
get
there.
on with us.
Man, I haven't bought a system yet, man.
Just get an S.
I was thinking about it.
Just get
I
a
was
what?
thinking about it.
A Series S.
I'm gonna go
gotcha.
to the pawn shop, buy myself that.
Do it. Happy birthday to Trent.
Yeah, man. Birthday coming in April, so might as well give me something.
I feel like the
I had
potential.
to finance mine. I was like, well, no, it was the only way I could get it. No stores had it.
Oh, that's true. That is true. All right.
I
So-
did get invited to buy a PS5 from Amazon finally.
Second and 10. Prescott.
So this is a combination of the touchdowns and the kicking. So Prescott scores. I think Schultz scored on that one.
I can't stand Dak Prescott.
I'm not a huge fan, but I don't dislike him.
And they were pretty ugly kicks.
Wide right.
too.
Point is pushed.
So you think they got mad at the place kicker instead of the field goal kicker?
I don't. Yeah, what did I say? Place kicker, field goal kicker. My bad.
You know what some people are saying, right?
What are they saying?
They're saying they're almost 100% sure the kicker took the under.
You think so?
No.
If there's an
Betting wise?
investigation.
To help, dude, to miss
Prescott
more?
sure.
Nobody
Here you
would
go.
have took that.
Here we go. There's another kick.
These are ugly kicks, man.
They did not look good.
These are all ugly kicks.
It
It's
looks
not
like year one Parker White out there for South Carolina.
It's a little embarrassing, I think. It's a little.
Oh,
it's
dude,
a little embarrassing.
that's when they have to put you in an armored car to go home because they're gonna cut your fucking head off.
Well, not really. He was in Tampa. If he was in,
Zone touchdown, Dallas. Schultz is second of the night.
Last one.
so Schultz got a touchdown on there. We got another touchdown coming up.
Do you think they looked at him right here like Jesus Christ?
Oh, at some point, Dak Prescott's being like, "Can we just go for 2?"
Job. Great
But they didn't.
drive, Dallas.
Now he's going to adjust here.
Maher.
Oh,
I'm telling you, these are ugly kicks, man. All you do is kick. All you do is kick.
Dude, all you do is kick, dude.
Yeah.
You can.
It's no way.
You even have your own little area to practice,
And that is caught.
it's so funny.
and it's not even the Super Bowl, dude.
Like ultimately, I thought it was the Dallas curse. Like I was like, oh, it's got to be the Dallas curse.
well,
Like,
when Tampa Bay's not fucking scoring,
yeah.
3 tonight,
So
4 in a row.
wide right. No, it was wide left.
he had to go.
Yeah.
Has done it.
I'm trying to tell y'all, man. This guy took the under and won some money that night. And he won some money. He was like, "No way that this kicker's gonna miss
Do you need
4."
that kind of money if you're the?
What do you mean that kind of money? Get my people to bet
No, they were
like
dude. After the first
100,000 that I'm gonna miss 4.
dude, by the third time he had to come up there, they're like solidly destroying Tampa Bay. He's not gonna go like, I'm gonna keep missing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna fuck this
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
There was no
And
chance.
if you got money on it,
So,
I mean, as a Falcons fan, you would probably be a little scared.
oh come on. Younghoe Koo is on target 97% of the time. Like he hasn't. Like he's I pick Young Wei Koo over.
Who is that kicker
Brett
that
Mayer.
went to UGA that had the big glasses?
Oh yeah. Who
Like,
was he?
he couldn't kick field goals, and we won against them.
Yeah, that was good.
And then, but he never missed, and they get him into the game like, and he never misses.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
You always speak it up.
They have the statistics in front of them. So when they're running color commentary, they're like, according to the statistics, he's never missed a field goal. Bets? Who wants bets?
He's missing one today.
Like it's almost about, okay. Before we go to break, do you guys want to hear what Brett Mayer's reaction was after the game? He was interviewed.
Oh God,
Yeah,
dude.
this-
The kicker was interviewed?
Yeah. He
Go
Oh,
home and shoot
man.
myself.
Obviously, tough night
got
for you. Just take us through your emotions of the night.
Yeah, I'm super happy for the team. This is a big win for us.
Okay,
Definitely didn't do my part tonight. And this team is.
He said I
is
did
too
my
good
part?
He said
for
definitely
me,
didn't do my part.
Not to do that. So get back at it this week.
What's kind of going through your mind after the first and then after the second?
And then after the
Keep
third,
going, or-
and then the fourth.
Appreciate that. I was just trying to put a good, clean strike on it. Wasn't able to do that for too many in a row.
Oh man, I wish he
Brett,
put. I wish he put
obviously,
the.
tough night for
I
you,
wish he
but
put the place kicker
take us through your emotions of the
placeholder
night.
on, like just blasting him.
Blast, but he held my
He's like,
balls wrong.
laces out, Dan.
No, they were all perfect. That's what people
Yeah,
went back
exactly.
and looked at it. It was like nothing was wrong with the ball. That's why people think he took the under, because nothing was wrong. It was just a little chip shot.
Yeah.
The place kicker turns to him. He's like, "What the fuck? I have caught perfect balls for you. I set them up like this."
Y'all want to hear Dak's reaction?
Oh no, yes, I know that went crazy.
He's like, "That dumb son." of a
Yeah, I mean, I'm Money Myers' biggest fan. Yeah, I mean, I talked to him individually.
Money Myers.
Told him after the game, hey, let that go. We're gonna need it. I just played like a week ago, so I mean, that happens.
And a week before
knowing
that,
what
and a week
guy's
before
done,
that.
with the resiliency he's
I
shown
done fucking
throughout
been
his
hot
career,
garbage my whole career.
Personally, no doubt that he'll come back next week and be perfect and help us win.
I'm sure.
Man, they're just lucky
I mean-
that Tom Brady didn't have the comeback
Yeah.
thing that was about to happen, because
agree.
They
it could have got ugly with them missing all them field goals.
I got
for
a
sure.
conspiracy for you. There's people out there who think Tom Brady had the fat sucked out of his cheeks.
Well, his cheeks does look a little skinnier.
He does.
He does. He
Would he?
probably got a little.
think-
You think he got a little work? He's
I
in
heard-
You can see the
Tampa.
bump from his fucking teeth. In
I
his
heard-
jaw.
He's in Tampa. You don't. Everybody's doing that in Tampa. What are you talking about?
I heard that after the game on Monday night that he went home and ate a carb.
Just one single piece of bread.
No, not even a single bread. Just enough for one carb.
Yeah, we're all laughing, and Tom Brady's gonna come out and be like, "I have fucking cancer."
He's
Wow. That's fucked up, man.
I thought I could win one more with cancer.
That's crazy.
needed-
That's crazy.
he
You
needed
can't
that
wish
record.
that. You
He
can't
needed
wish
that
I
that
don't
on
know.
Tom
Did I
Brady.
wish that? No.
just
I'm
did.
just saying we need to calm down on fucking with him, because he's gonna come out and tell you he has some
But
fucking.
nah, he needs to go ahead and come out, because that's you can't have everybody be like, "Damn, you looking skinnier, Tom."
He What's
Where's your hair
wild?
going,
What's
Tom?
wild is like,
Oh my gosh, these
it's
are
like
terrible
legit
jokes.
sport pundits are going. He's gonna go to Miami. I'm like, Tua Tagovailoa is slinging it. What the
Oh, and he's gonna be on fire next year too.
yeah, like the fuck he's going to Miami.
Yeah.
What, why?
I mean,
I don't know any team that needs a Tom Brady.
You know what?
currently.
Put
Maybe
Grandpa.
Green Bay.
Put
I mean,
Grandpa.
Green Bay. Could
You got to
use
think
a-
about it like
They
this.
got their own Tom
the
Brady
most
going on.
accurate.
He's gonna be gone.
the most
Yeah.
accurate quarterback in the
Yeah.
whole league with Tyreek Hill.
But at 45,
That's nasty.
Tyreek Hill did
Fastest person in the NFL right now.
at
I
40
love Tyreek Hill. That's why I draft him.
I know. I know.
But Tyreek Hill does not always turn it on.
Correct. I mean, but if you
I'd
got
rather-
Tom Brady as your quarterback, everybody's going to turn something on.
I'd rather have Tua Tagovailoa, who's got years ahead of him and can just get better and better and better and better and better.
All right, before the show becomes a sports show, and I
think we already
and I have
made
to
it
hear about
that
that. We're going to take a break. We'll come back after the break. We've got some other things to discuss. I know the announcement about Judd Larkins. We'll discuss some of that and whatnot. So, y'all are listening to the All About Nothing podcast with Zach, Trent, and Barrett.
Have a break.
This is Chrissy from the podcast Status Macabre, and you're listening to Barrett, Zach, and Trent on the All About Nothing podcast.
Welcome back to the All About Nothing podcast. Barrett Gruber, Zach King, Trent Clark. Hello, Trent behind the bar. I almost said behind the bar, but behind the board.
Cleaning glasses.
Yeah.
Well, damn, why I gotta
Listening,
be cleaning glasses?
listening.
That's what bartenders do. Like, what can I get ya?
I've never walked into a bar and seen a bartender cleaning glasses.
That's probably
Go to
fair.
another bar.
Yeah. Now
you
you're
don't
gonna
see them doing the Oh, what's up, guys?
What can I get you?
Absolutely do. Only in movies.
Quintessential.
You never walked in and be like, and they've been doing something.
We're not talking about 5 points where they're like, what do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
that's the bars I go to.
Yeah, it's you walk in and he's cleaning the glass and he looks at it and he goes, why the long face?
Yeah,
exactly. He's there ready to listen to your problems.
No, he's not. You don't find a lot of bartenders that be ready to listen. They be like, man, I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Where's the Coke?
Exactly. So I did want to open up this portion of the show to discuss friend of the podcast, Judd Larkins. There was an announcement on Fitz News that Judd Larkins had left the Democratic Party for the Republican Party, and that broke Friday night. I texted him immediately to say, "Hey, what's going on?" And while I can't disclose everything that we talked about in the text, I can tell you he did confirm that he did leave the Democratic Party. If you read his Twitter, he definitely did leave the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And he definitely did join the Republican Party, or he is in the process of doing so.
Man, you got to be bipartisan somehow, man.
He's going to get him from the inside.
Yeah, and he's a mole.
Well, and ultimately, I wish I had more information. I wish that I had Judd's commitment to come on the show. I know I recorded at the beginning of the show last week that he said that he was going to come on. He has since said that he's not going to make any public statements. He's got a lot of other stuff going on that's less important, or that this is less important than what he's got going on.
He would have been our first Republican if he would have came back.
Absolutely. Well, he would have
been
been
Republican and Democrat
politician.
First, do both.
First Republican politician.
Correct.
We've had Republicans on the show. We y'all just didn't know it.
I mean, we probably did. Oh yeah, he was definitely.
Oh, why is he blowing McMaster? What's going on with this?
So until we can get some actual public comments, the only thing. And I don't want to speculate as to his reason to leaving the Democratic Party, because I will say one of the things.
Well, he's seen that red wave that we had in South Carolina. Was like, well, I guess I got to join on that.
Here's my surfboard.
I don't want to speculate as to his reasoning. I will say that I have considered running as a Republican on Democratic principles, and in the idea of you cannot get elected in the state of South Carolina as a Democrat. Right. Now, I don't believe you can't. I know you can. We have Democrats in the State House. We have Democrats that represent us in Congress. You know, Clyburn is a Democrat, and
it's amazing that he keeps getting voted in.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That he has been.
No, I'm just saying it's amazing for me to see it happen in South Carolina.
Yeah,
for him to keep getting elected.
So unable to speculate and have a real conversation about what's going on with Judd Larkins.
Not willing to speculate and wanting to have
right. Yeah. Because I'd prefer to talk to him about it, and I'm hoping that he will come around and join us on the show so that we can talk about it. Because I want to ask the serious questions. I want to ask him, are you still running on the same platform? Because if you're running on the same platform, that particular party doesn't support most of those issues. The people may.
Yeah.
The people that are Republicans that tend to vote Republican or that vote Republican over and over, they may support the issues that you run on, but they don't support them unless Fox News or Newsmax or whatever. As long as they're being told to fear that stuff, they won't support it. But they'll vote for a Republican even if they do support it potentially.
Well, because they just vote by partisan line, not even care.
Correct. They go in and pull the handle for the Republican.
And two, this just dawned on me because it came up a couple weeks ago. But didn't they struck down the heartbeat bill?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Supreme Court.
We forgot to talk
South Carolina Supreme Court struck that down. So as of now, we are still in line with the federal law.
There's a little light at the end of the tunnel somewhere.
So we can't speculate on Judd Larkins as far as why he left the Democratic Party, but we can make conversation about others that have left the Democratic Party previously. Back in December, at the end of the year, Kyrsten Sinema, she announced her departure from the Democratic Party to go as an independent. And ultimately, her reason, which she publicly addressed, is that she left the Democratic Party so that she could best represent the people of Arizona,
the majority of where she is.
Yeah, and she said that as an independent, she can better represent them. I'll give you.
Is that true there?
No, they voted for Mark Kelly.
Okay,
they elected Mark Kelly back to the Senate. So this idea. So essentially, what's going to happen is she's not. This will be her last term in the Senate.
I hope you like not winning. Bye.
Yeah, because she's not a Bernie Sanders. She isn't going to get reelected as an independent. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, old fading people looking at us,
and the likelihood is that it will have a repercussive act on her in the sense that Democrats are not going to vote for her. Correct. Republicans are not going to vote for her. and independents in Arizona, where there may be a lot of independents in Arizona, I don't know that they'll vote for her.
That's where your votes go to die.
Yeah, she's basically, because I don't even know what she stands for, because ultimately she ran as a very liberal Democrat, was elected, and then with Joe Biden as president, she started to, I don't know, rotate in her chair with her head spinning around or something.
I think the biggest fall is that somebody, you have to be classified in one of these. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just run on. I have good ideas. It just doesn't work that way.
I wish that were the case.
Right.
So my campaign, I will run as a Democrat.
Right.
And I will run under, not necessarily under what I believe to be the policy of the Democratic Party, but at least in the sense that Democrats have stayed very consistent on the issues as far as civil rights, women's rights, when it comes to health care, Social Security, legalization of marijuana. These are all fundamentals that the Democratic Party represents. And while I don't agree with some Democrats that are in office that have I don't know, pushed themselves in one direction or the other, because I definitely don't think it's necessary to be extreme, but I do recognize that in South Carolina especially, that I think that people would be best represented by someone that wants to do better for them and not just go out there and occupy a space where they basically just kiss Governor McMaster's ass all day. Because that's all they do. That's all our legislature does. Is Governor McMaster's farts, and they're like, bottle that.
And then if it's their president, that as well.
Right.
Well, Donald Trump will be here at McMaster's for his first campaign.
Yeah.
He's coming here first. That tells you a lot, South Carolina. It's that he trusts us to come to us first.
Do you think he's going to do it on the Yorktown again?
Because I don't know.
Didn't Trump?
He might do the Kanye tour and go to Charleston.
Yeah, go to Charleston, set up shop on the Yorktown. Yeah, the Yorktown. It's to me, it's ridiculous.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Did y'all see Andrew Santino's stand up on Netflix? As a new one.
No,
the ginger guy.
Yes. Yeah.
He was the one that does the.
I've seen.
Well,
he made a good point. So.
Alex Wong, is it Alex?
He was on Little Dicky. He's on Little Dicky.
Yeah.
He's Little Dicky's manager.
Yeah.
He was his roommate.
Okay.
But the point I'm getting to is like he talks shit both about Biden and Trump.
Yeah.
And I think the thing you fall in when you're saying I'm a Democrat or Republican, you fall into the dogma of each party.
Right.
Whichever one it is. Either you're an ass kissing racist or you're a big fat pussy liberal.
Right.
Those are the extremes, but people divide that in their head that way.
Yeah.
And it's not that way, but if people don't want to put that much thought into it. But he made a good point where he crapped on both of them, but he's like, Trump, he's like, I'm surprised nobody, he didn't say it out loud. He did like for a minute, like 32 guns down.
32 gun salute.
Yeah, what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but then him talking about, was it him that talked about how Trump would take a bullet?
No, that was the other guy.
That was the other one. Yeah,
they've been in video. He's on that Andrew Santino's podcast.
Yeah.
No, they had this dude talking about how Trump would take a bullet. He'd be like, "That guy's the gayest guy I've ever seen." He'd just be talking shit about somebody, and then when he gets shot, he'd be like,
ow.
He's like funniest president.
Oh, you hit me.
Yeah, Kirsten Sinema.
All About Nothing podcast does not condone the assassination of public officials.
Hey, there was a warning at the beginning of the show.
Speaking of that, Martin Luther King Jr. birthday.
I put out a TikTok to tell everyone to because it's not necessarily. I don't think it was his birthday this time around, but
no, the birthday was on the 15th. The day was Monday.
Just to celebrate the life of Dr. King.
They put his car in the museum, and what museum was it?
I don't know.
Is it in Atlanta?
I think it's in Georgia.
Okay.
I just can't remember which.
Well, let's talk about the real elephant. What you guys think of that new statue in Boston?
What's hold on, tell me. I don't know what we're talking about.
Was it MLK statue?
Yeah.
Oh.
Does it look like him?
It doesn't even have his face.
What kind of statue is it?
It's y'all have to literally look it up. First glance, you'll see. I just want you to just look at the first glance that pops up.
So Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. has a statue devoted to.
I was talking about.
Devoted to. Yeah, I've seen. Yep. Has a statue devoted to him in Boston. One of the most racist cities I've ever been to.
Correct. This is why I'm trying to understand, like, who, why.
It's just arms.
What? Okay, you gotta show. Okay,
it's him hugging.
Is he holding his head?
They're putting that's becoming a meme now. So the arms,
arms holding arms.
Yes, it is arms holding arms.
That's
him holding. That's him hugging. I can't remember who he's hugging.
Greta Scott.
Maybe
his wife.
Maybe.
That's. I mean, look. It's modern. It's interpretive.
No one asked for that. Just put a statue of a man.
I mean, it feel like the one in DC. The one in DC, I think, is amazing because basically it's him coming out of a block.
Correct.
It is a woman.
It is
and she has a wedding ring in pearl. I think it is.
It might be his.
It is a woman.
Might be Coretta. But yeah, it's. He
was a little promiscuous. Not to shit on him though.
Well, the FBI also put a lot of they loaded a lot of misinformation about him because they wanted him to shut up.
Correct.
But
and he had this like they was talking about it on the podcast. He had like a 75 disapproval ratings, like during
of the
time.
people that they allowed
to ask.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The people surveyed.
That's half the United States.
Well, you think about the number of people walking out of a grocery store that are willing to talk to somebody. If it's a white person asking in the 60s.
Well, think about this.
The white person asking a white person.
What you think of Martin Luther King?
Conspiracy time.
That's not what they said.
The federal government brainwashed Saran to go assassinate Ted Kennedy. It was Ted Kennedy?
Ted Kennedy was assassinated, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Ted Kennedy died of
who's the other one?
old age or whatever. You're talking about Robert Kennedy?
No, not JFK.
JFK's brother.
Yes. The one who got shot in the hotel by Saran.
Yeah, that was Robert Kennedy.
Robert Kennedy. Because the night before he was supporting Martin Luther King in his protests.
Oh yeah.
And then the next day he was killed by Saran. And then Saran says he was mind wiped by the government. Because they didn't. Because
I've heard that.
Robert
before.
Kennedy was getting such a good push in the polls, and then he backed Martin Luther King.
Yeah,
and I think it was right after MLK got killed.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Do you think the Men in Black showed us that little thing for a reason? Like, come on, man. You know that thing got to be real, man. They don't just pull that out of no. Yeah,
I think that's still one of my favorite.
I only
scenes.
know it because of the
favorite
Will Smith
scene.
rap.
Yeah, well, in Men in Black when he's pulling out the guns, he pulls out the giant gun. He's like, he starts handing
a little
to him.
cricket.
Yeah, and he hands out. He goes noisy cricket. He goes,
Jay,
hey, what the
shit?
fuck am I gonna do with this thing?
He's like, I'm gonna break this damn thing.
No, quit playing, Kay. Give me the real one.
All right, I'll give y'all another one. Did y'all hear about the?
Kay, did you flashy thingy me?
Yeah.
Did you flashy thing?
I mean, have you ever done that shit to me? Yeah.
Tell me right now.
Men in Black, all of them are great.
Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Did y'all hear about the Tennessee cop?
Yes.
Okay,
they're putting
enlighten me.
You know
enlighten me.
They're putting her face on that statue.
No.
And they're making her hug a penis.
So
what?
I only heard about
That's a meme right now.
What is the?
Do you want to explain it? Or you want me to?
You can explain it.
All right. So this cop in Tennessee, apparently she's in an open marriage, and
her husband doesn't know about the open marriage.
She was just
that's not open.
Sucking and in her way through the police department.
She wasn't even getting upgraded.
Dude, no.
She wasn't getting a
this is in
promotion.
Tennessee.
Oh, dude, like more than one at a time, like parties. In like the gym of the police station, in the squad cars, like people were just running it on her, and she was all about it. And
it's like four, something like I think it was like 4 or 5 police officers all together.
Yeah, and like
in one county, but it's like that's like everybody in that police station.
And they kept have like her on record talking about one of them's big black dong and stuff like that. And it was like 2 black dudes and like 3 Latina dudes.
Yeah, and 1 white guy.
Yeah, 1 white guy. I didn't know about that till Che had put a thing. He's like, if you don't know this by now, then you haven't been looking at social media. And I was like, yeah, I have. What is this about? And I had to I was like, what?
Yes.
So this Tennessee sheriff's deputy basically had sex throughout the entire department
with everybody at like one time.
One time.
Dude,
they had a girls going wild theme party at somebody's house. And
was she the only female officer there?
I would guess.
Ran it on her. I
don't know if they had strippers there too. Probably, I would imagine for them they probably had strippers, and she was just like, "Well, I'm gonna join too."
And all that's fine if you're off duty, but it was the on duty and
she was having sex on duty.
Oh my gosh, that's
And her husband saying he's sticking by her side.
Oh, because it was an open marriage.
Well, he didn't know about the open marriage.
You can't call it an open marriage.
He didn't know about the open marriage.
She's like, we have an open marriage. He's like, what?
Yeah, everybody. The husband already said he's like, I didn't know it was an open marriage, but I'm gonna stick by her side though. So she probably got to have some fire top.
He was just happy the rules of the games changed. He's like, well, I'm gonna start going out and
if we all see the girl, I'm not.
Okay, he's pulling. He's
going to say what I wouldn't say.
Are you the guy that when you hear that a teacher's had a relationship with a student that you're like, oh, let me check this teacher out?
I bring her an apple.
Oh my God.
You're going to find that's a Granny Smith, babe.
A Honeycrisp is better.
That guy bought you a Honeycrisp. You be the judge.
I am. So
you was not expecting her to look like this.
Well, I wasn't.
Be honest.
So,
and I'm not saying what she looks like either.
I don't.
But you weren't expecting this, right?
I don't want this to sound wrong. You could put a billboard on that. It could say, you could put anything on there, as big a letters if you want to. Her forehead, and nothing against her because it's probably her parents' fault, but that is an enormous forehead. I was not expecting that.
I was
not even a little.
I literally only found about this yesterday.
I don't even know, man.
She doesn't look older than like 25.
You know what her next stop is?
Prison?
Porn.
Oh, okay. Well,
dude, it's just like the logical next step. Like,
I guess that does make sense.
I mean, I bet there's a lot of police stations be like, I'll hire you.
How old is she?
It's fucked up, bro.
How old is she?
Yeah. Oh God. I knew what it was, but
it's a statue.
Wow.
Because it was like mostly black dudes.
Yeah. It was like 3 of them.
The one non-racist person in Tennessee.
That's what Chase.
And they outed her.
What Chase said. He's like, why did you fire her? She's clearly accepting of all minorities.
Correct. Like, we got to get some more racist cops in here, man. We can't.
Tennessee losing its
You need
standard.
more of her, less of everybody else.
Oh my God.
Just quit banging in the gymnasium.
I look up her age. Hold on, man.
That's okay. While you're looking up her age,
I think they barely got her name.
The other Republican that is, or current Republican that switched parties was also
back to that. I'm sorry.
John Kennedy of Louisiana. Kennedy of Louisiana, senator, left wing. He left the Democratic Party in 2007 when he was treasurer of Louisiana. It's important to note he's an Oxford-educated Southern politician whose Southern accent got deeper and more worse after he joined the Republican Party. It went from us speaking LSU, like this. Yeah, it went from us speaking like this to what it is now. And
I'll say that, boy.
Pretty close.
Master, my buddy.
John Kennedy is also a Cancer. Not the astrological sign, but a literal Cancer.
In the Ass of Society.
Here we go.
All right. The husband, Jedediah.
No, shut up.
I think his dad is like a pastor. I swear to God.
Jebediah? What Amish community did they leave?
He's 28 and she's 26.
Okay, so I was close. What did I say? She's got to be under 25? She looks very young. Jebediah? What was her name again?
Megan.
Megan.
And it's spelled Megan.
Megan?
Yeah.
Megan. Yeah. I knew a Megan, but she spelled it Meghan. Megan.
Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah. Zach's like, I'm out.
It's Laverne County.
Zach has left the room. This is a first.
Well, he spilled something, so he's cleaning it up. Like,
did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I didn't follow that along.
Shout out to Middle Light.
Hey,
go ahead, send that sponsor on over.
I didn't drop it.
No, you didn't drop it. You got
it. So I wanted to bring up another thing that came up this week. Apparently, with Twitter selling blue check marks, the Taliban has purchased their own blue check marks.
I've seen that.
We are the real Taliban.
Why not? Well, we need to hear from them how they feel.
Well,
because we always hear what they think they feel. Now we want to.
Is this threat credible? Got a blue check mark.
They got blue check
exactly.
mark.
It means it's legitimately $8 a month. It's yeah, and
Elon's doing anything to get that money back.
For real.
That's money. That's that. You gotta get that money back, baby.
Legitimately, it sounds awful, but I think in the end, it's probably well. Anyway,
it's gonna work. He's gonna get his money back.
Elon's
gonna come out. He's like, so that's how he caught the Taliban.
Twitter did remove their blue check mark after there was a lot of public.
You can keep paying us, but we're
I imagine
I think the KKK needs their own platform to speak. You know what I mean?
Well, hold on.
Correct.
Let's not say that they need their platform.
I'm saying I want them all out. I want to hear how they feeling.
I don't.
If they're angry at me, I need to know where not to go.
I need to be taken down a peg. Yeah, that did it.
I'm gonna reach.
I'm not over here. I'm not here going full Kanye saying I love. You know what I mean?
Hitler wasn't that bad.
You know what I'm saying? But I need to hear what they're thinking.
That did happen while we were on break.
Correct.
Did it?
Yeah. Kanye.
Did it? I thought we were already like, he's probably a Nazi.
Nah. It happened right when we took a break.
Because we were talking about the basketball school.
Because I think Barrett was ready to come back and talk about it, but he was like,
I was.
Are y'all sure y'all want to wait till January?
Yeah, I was. Because ultimately, if you don't know, he went on InfoWars with the money who.
Wearing just a black face mask.
Yeah, he was wearing just covered in like you couldn't see his face. Like, what was that for?
It's so you can't really say it's Kanye.
But it was Kanye.
That was Kanye.
Do we know?
He admitted. He said he was Ye.
Do we see his face? No face, no case.
I feel like after the fact, he did admit that it was him on the show, though.
No face, no case. But
it was Kanye. It was Kanye.
Speaking of Kanye, he just got married illegally.
How did he get married illegally?
Because is not legally married. He's not legally married. They just did the ceremony.
Yeah, but
and both got a ring.
It's not illegal.
It's not. Well, I ain't mean to say.
So he doesn't have to give her. She's not responsible for all the money he's losing.
Legality.
Probably how he should have did Kim.
Yeah.
I don't want prenup. Fuck prenup. Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly. Here, just take this ring. I'm gonna give you some money here from time to time.
This is called a promise. That's all.
She looks just like Kim, though. It's kind of freaky. Kind of freaky. Like he. Like,
are you trying?
Like he made her doppelganger.
Are you trying to tell me that Kanye has a type?
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell Kanye has a type. Look, he started with Amber Rose, and then it just went up to Kim Kardashian.
You know, every time he's like about to get with his wife, he's like, "Fuck you, Ray J."
No, him and Ray J are friends now. Don't do that.
No, the first thing he does is, "You ever been with Pete Davidson?"
Yeah. Fuck you, Pete
yes?
and Ray J.
Let me tweet him.
At least Pete.
You see how long that lasted?
Yeah,
Pete's out of there too now.
Yeah, but Pete jumps.
So
from
we know who's real crazy. We know who's the real crazy one now.
It is definitely Kim.
I have to say that it's also Kanye.
Nah, it's Kim.
You don't think that Kanye's just a little bit crazy?
Did you just see what Kim and let her child do? Dress up as Kanye? Did you see that?
I'm sorry, no, I missed that.
Oh my god!
But you're talking about real crazy.
You
two
gotta
crazies
be online, man.
That was two crazies connecting, but. Yeah, I guarantee you, Kim is just ridiculous.
I don't disagree. I don't hear as much about Kim being crazy than
the one who married Travis Barker is insane too.
Which one is that?
Oh, but she's the hottest.
Which one?
Not anymore.
Courtney.
She's
the hottest because she's natural. She hasn't done no
Is
work.
she a Kardashian or a Jenner?
Straight up fucking lies.
All right.
Who do you think the child should be with? After watching this video,
not Kanye.
A foster family. The child should be with a foster family. I'm not wrong.
That's her dad, though. I mean, come on, man. I'm not. I don't speak on a plea.
You can tell that she's baiting Kanye right now with that.
That does feel like a bait.
That's fair.
It does.
No, I'm judging her, but like kid dressing up as their dad.
But hold on, that doesn't take away from Kanye's crazy.
Yeah, it does.
No,
I don't think it does.
It gives me a plain reason why I know Kanye went crazy.
Bro, that's
okay, but he's still crazy. Hold on, you're still admitting he's crazy.
I'm saying it was Kim's fault.
All she's doing is spinning that carousel a little fucking more.
Come on, man. She put money in that machine and just keep on going.
He's having to pay how much a month?
200.
Yeah, 200.
Bitch, I don't have my shoes. What do you want me to do?
I mean, you're right.
It's you know what?
And she's a lawyer, so she's like just in the books, like fucking him royally legally.
I still have to attribute some of the crazy to Kanye too.
Oh, I'm not. No,
but he is.
Nah,
Trent's saying he's not crazy.
I'm saying Kanye is not crazy. I'm saying why he is going crazy is because Kim.
That's fair.
I'm not saying that he's not crazy. I'm just saying the main reason that he's being pushed too crazy was because he was in that household.
He ran for president. He spent money to run for president.
He didn't run.
Barrett, you're about to run for office.
It's a different thing.
No, it's not. You can go to Charleston and cry.
Somebody.
Trent,
just
if
like
Barrett came to us right now and said, "I'm running for president," we'd be like, "You know what, Barrett? Don't."
Yeah, exactly. Like, where are those people for Kanye?
If Kanye, you don't have Kanye money, so you can't tell me F off. You're like, I'm gonna do what I want.
As of right now, I think I kind of have Kanye money.
Well, let me get $200,000 a month then.
I didn't have to lose a shoe contract to get it either.
Correct. Yeah, let me get that 200,000.
Barrett would just make friends with Branson of Virgin Mobile and be like, I just need a bill.
Yeah, just one. Just one. And you know what?
He's like, I've only got 4, and I'm sending rolling shit to space.
Did you hear about what happened with the UK space program with Branson and whatnot?
Yeah.
So they sent a plane up that was going to launch. It was a plane that was going to go into the outer atmosphere.
It's what Virgin Galactic has done,
right,
multiple times,
and it was supposed to launch some ridiculous number of satellites, and I don't know what it was, but basically
it failed
at second 0. Like they knew things were wrong,
really.
And somebody came out from the UK Space Ministry or whatever, came out and said, we're not entirely sure that the plane landed.
And that's the thing, is that now the UK is the only like first world country in the war that has not put shit into space.
Yeah.
Like China's like, bam, probe.
Yeah.
Like I think even South Korea was like, bam, probe.
Yeah.
Us, of course, we put men on the moon, beat that Russia. Everybody fucking does it.
Yeah, we did. We put men on the moon.
Did you ask Neil that? You didn't ask Neil that.
Neil
was the first moon landing real, Neil? That's what I would have said.
Telescopes that can zoom in.
He argued with Joe Rogan. Like he was like, Joe, if you say that again, you're a fucking moron. I actually think he was the one who convinced Joe Rogan that to stop that shit. Yeah, because it's so easy to tell. People are like, why are there no stars? Because you ever seen a film roll from 1969? You don't see shit. He's like, the aperture's not open enough to wait for starlight to enter it.
Correct.
So I mean, there's some, and plus they talked about Stanley Kubrick being the one who filmed it.
Yeah,
man got a lot better shit to do to go fucking fake a moon landing.
The All About Nothing podcast. We always get around to the first topic. This is what we do. All you job turkeys out there.
That reminds me of fucking the Flint Tropics. Who you called me? Jive Turkey?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that. Yeah.
Tropic Thunder. Yeah, that was funny.
No, I called you a cocksucker.
I wanted to bring up one last topic before we get wrapped up. What is the best way to quit a job?
Are we talking about like, well, okay, I don't want to work there no more?
Right, correct.
And they fucked me? Or are we talking about I like the people here and I like the management here, but I just don't want to work here no more?
Okay, sure.
Because there's a difference. So you got to give me one.
Both.
Okay.
Give me scenario 1 first.
Scenario 1.
No, give me scenario 2 first.
Oh, scenario 2.
This is just because I'm inventing.
I'm gonna go ahead and just put my 2 weeks in if I like them. I'm gonna put my 2 weeks in.
Okay,
properly.
You're okay. All right.
Yeah. What would you do?
I don't know yet.
What would you do, man? I'm gonna tell you what I'll do if I don't like the company now.
One of my favorite.
I'm walking off at lunchtime and I'm making everybody wonder. Like the last Friday that I get paid, like the pay Friday, I'll walk off that bitch.
I think,
and just leave if I don't even like them.
My favorite way of watching somebody quit was from the movie. With
it's fucking Half Baked. Fuck you, you're cool. Fuck you, I'm
out.
Yeah.
Like, I wish that I could have had that moment at some of my previous jobs. Okay. I wish I could have had that moment.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I have gray hairs and shit, and I just every day I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, but it's not just your job. It's anybody. Like but ultimately, I think. That,
well, how would you quit, Barrett? Or how did you quit?
Okay. So
how do you get the fuck out?
Okay, so I can,
because I know what you did. You're definitely one of those. I'm gonna put my 2 weeks notice in. I want to make sure y'all give me a good reference on my next job.
No, I'll just
fuck
tell you,
that.
I'll just no. I'll tell you exactly. So my last job, I gave almost a month's notice.
Wow.
I got.
See, that's a good employee.
But hold on, I gave almost a month's notice, which went completely ignored.
Oh, so they thought you were just BSing.
Well, I don't know what he thought. My manager.
But how do you technically give a 2 weeks notice? And do you like send a slip in?
I gave a letter.
Nobody really gives
it was a letter of resignation. I gave a letter of resignation.
I've never gave that.
You just went to sketchy shit.
Yeah, I just walk up to him and be like, "Hey, yo, I'm quitting in 2 weeks."
Bitch, I quit.
Like a bank teller note. It's like, "Hey, I'm quitting." Also,
sure, it makes a paper airplane.
Put $2 million in the bag.
I have a gun.
But no, I gave like a month's notice, and
you're a very good employee.
No. But it went.
That's a very good employee.
I also wrote all the documentation on exactly how I did my job, so that they wouldn't have any issues with transitioning away from me. Only to find out that
you gave them a how to train the next person after me.
I didn't have it. The only
I would never. I would never. I'd be like, y'all are fucked after me. This shit's about to shut down. I'm gone.
You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
The end result was I didn't want it to harm any of the people I was still friends with at that
You're not harming them when you walking off.
Well, ultimately,
that's not your job anymore.
I did find out after the fact that almost everybody that I tried to prepare them for my departure did throw me under the bus. Was like, Barrett never showed me that. I'm like, fuck. I did too.
And you left them a manifesto.
They burned it so everyone would hate Barrett. I'll tell you this: when I put in my 2 weeks for when I managed that Goodwill, man, everything was fine and smooth. And that last day, they came in and he was like, "Zach, you ever thought about running a store and not leaving us?" And I was like,
he tried to sun him. That's how they get you.
No. Here's where he fucked up. My boy Cash was the store manager, and they fired him and all the other two.
Oh, so they're just about to put you in front of there.
Yeah, and then they kept the new lady in, and I was like, I wouldn't work for you for any fucking money. I was like, y'all just came in here and fired everybody like the fucking Gestapo. I was like, why would I work for you? And he's like, well, that's disappointing. He's like, well, he was like, you're gonna have to close tonight, and I was like, the fuck I am. He's like, well, if you want your last paycheck, or he said something very blackmailish to me, and I was like, fine. That the lady came.
Hold on, if you want your last paycheck, you gotta close.
Well, he was because you have.
That's not how it works.
No, like you have to work your full the vacation. That's what it was.
Oh, I
took time off, and I was like, fine, fuck.
You know, I've never got my 2 weeks vacation from any job I've quit.
Well,
you can sue them, and you should check the Treasury site as well.
Yeah, you ought to check that.
What ended up happening is that lady came in maybe like 2 hours early. She's like, I'm just gonna eat my lunch, and I was like, okay. Grab that fucking ball of keys. I was like, you're closing now. She's like, but I don't. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. You're closing now. I just walked
Congratulations,
out.
manager.
Yeah, you made a poor decision, and I got you. Well, you found a guy who has no fucking thread on his rope.
Speaking of that,
well,
are we taking a trip to Maine?
Oh, I didn't buy a ticket.
Bangor?
No, the $1.3 billion. It wasn't mine.
All right. Well, okay. I know we did this kind of last time. I know we asked if you would take the lump sum or we would take the
lump sum. Oh, I would always take the lump sum.
Always take the lump
I don't
sum.
know that I'm going to live that long.
Let's do this. What is the first thing you'll buy?
The first thing I'll buy?
The first thing I'm buying is a fucking car.
I'm going to get...
I'll get a Ferrari.
I would buy a car, but I wouldn't replace mine. I would get mine converted into electric. I'd get the Element turned into an electric.
I would totally have them dope out my fucking Tahoe like above any reason that it has to be fucking
I'm definitely getting a Tesla truck.
Okay. Cybertruck.
Nice. I don't think anyone's getting them though, but good try.
All right.
I have the money for Elon to make mine by myself.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not fucking wrong.
I'm like, Elon, 100 million.
Hey,
come on.
And then you tell them to put one of the little mini Cybertruck 4-wheelers that they made in the back of it.
I would want the bigger. I would want the bigger version of that though. I'd be like, man, you gotta make the bigger.
There is a real version of it.
I know, but I need the big version.
I understand.
It's a real fucking 4-wheeler.
I know. All I seen was the small one.
No, they have a real 4-wheeler.
They made a fake one. They made a real one.
Oh, they did make a real one. Oh, okay. Just
all right. Sure. That's gonna do it for this episode.
Yeah, man.
What did we learn this week? I learned that speed of light is not attainable by humans.
I learned
not unless we have a warp bubble.
I learned to watch your girl's work husband.
Yeah, okay, fair.
You didn't share about that.
What are you talking about?
He's talking about the
Tennessee cop.
Oh, okay.
You thought I had something personal to share?
You said it with like a dead ass face, like watch it.
Well, I was
keep your eye.
You got to watch out for the work husbands, man.
And work wives while we're at it.
Well, don't get yourself in trouble, sir, at your new job.
Dude, I don't have work friends much worse than fucking work wife.
Womp, 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 womp.
Thank you, Nick the Geek, engineer and producer, owner and operator of G.O.T. Sound Studio. Check out details on how you can utilize his talent and production expertise at GOTSoundstudio.com. Thanks to Muff the Producer. Follow him on Instagram at Muff the Producer. Thanks to Trent Clark, aka DJ Lonzo, currently serving as the house DJ at the main course in Columbia, South Carolina. Make sure to go by and have a good time. You can contact Trent for all your entertainment needs. Trent at theallaboutnothing.com and on Instagram at TheRealDJLonzo. On Twitter at DJ Lonzo Top 5. You can also phone him 803-262-7982. If you enjoy the show, consider becoming a patron by visiting our website and clicking at the link at the top of the browser that will take you to our Patreon page. You can find details on how you become a supporter, or you can check out benefits there and just consider a donation so that we can continue to bring you this nonsense. We enjoy doing it. We enjoy you enjoying it. As always, you can follow us on Facebook. Just search for All About Nothing US. On Twitter and Instagram at AAN_pod, or you can find links to all of our social media and available podcast platforms by visiting theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like to be heard on the show, you may call and leave us a message, 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is too far apart, you can fill that time by checking out some of our partner podcasts. Zach and I host What the Pod Was That with Carrie Simmons. Visit whatthepodwasthat.com for links and details. Carrie and Chrissy host Status Macabre. You can find details at statusmacabre.com. Ami Bland takes a deep dive down the rabbit hole in episodes of Welcome to Wonderland, available on all of your podcast listening platforms. As well, you should check out our own DJ Lonzo's Top 5, hosted by Trent Clark, available on most of your podcast listening platforms.
So we learned that Zach has no attachments at his current job. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't have no friends.
All right, that'll do it for this week's episode of the All About Nothing podcast. Everybody stay safe and
have a week.
This The All About Nothing podcast is recorded live from the Maddie Johnson podcast studio at G.O.T Sound Studio in Columbia, South Carolina. The All About Nothing podcast is produced and engineered by Neek the Geek, owner and operator of G.O.T Sound Studio. To support the show, please visit theallaboutnothing.com for links to social media, merchandise, and more. Become a patron of the show by following the Patreon link at the top of our page. The All About Nothing podcast is an entertainment product of Barrett Gruber. Special thanks to Zach King, Trent Clark, Muff the producer, Neek the Geek, and you, our listeners. Please subscribe, rate, review, and share. If you're on YouTube, please hit the like button and the notification bell. Thank you for listening.
The All About Nothing podcast is a part of the G.O.T Podcast Network and a product of Barrett Gruber Entertainment and Media.